Bonjour à tous. Welcome back to our very special lesson about French politics, society, and culture. Well, previously we have seen some very heavy issue, but today we are going to talk about something more casual and more pleasant. And so today the topic for today will be the French fashion industry and these French brands which are very popular in the world. Well, very recently, I think that everybody have seen, or most of the people have already seen, a very, very popular TV series on screen, Emily in Paris. Well, through this TV series, we can observe many very interesting phenomena. Well, indeed, I think that in this TV series, they convey a kind of a model of lifestyle in the social media age. Emily in the TV series, she's a very young lady. She has her conception about the fashion, and she was forced to work in Paris, and everything happened to her. She registered that, or published that, or posted that on the Facebook. So I think that indeed this is a new model or new vision about the so-called French style of life. Of course, this TV series was much more criticized from any point of view. But indeed, personally, I think that the director make fun of the American viewpoint about the French cliché. It means that indeed, in this TV series, we have seen many cliché about French style of life. But these are cliché of American people, how American people view the so-called French style of life. And the director of the TV series make fun of their own American cliché about the French culture. But this TV series tackled this cliché in a very beautiful, in a very charming way. Emily in Paris is indeed very charming and very beautiful. She has her style of dressing. And the second very interesting about this TV series is the war between two schools, between the role of the character of Sylvie, a French lady, 50 years old, director of the marketing, and she represented exactly the old school of marketing for French luxury brand. But whereas Emily represents the new, young, modern point of view about marketing, and furthermore coming from the America, a country where French people consider to be a barbarian country where there is no culture. So I remember that in the TV series, Sylvie told Emily that you don't teach me how to marketing. I know my business better than you are. So this war between two conceptions of marketing about luxury industry is extremely significant and extremely interesting. And talking about French style of life, immediately we will think of many French brands. So here we are going to go through all these famous brand, popular brand made in France. Talking about food, Evian for the water, Fauchon for some fine cuisine, for the fruit jams, we think about Bon Maman. And I think that nobody ignore La Durée, the macaron, the very famous French style food known in the world. And if you want to drink tea, there is Frère Mariage. About alcohol and spirits, if you want to celebrate a big party, of course you think about champagne. And for the brand of champagne, you think about Moët Chandon and Veuve Clicquot. And for those old men like me, well, my dream about French wine is Chateau Latour, Chateau Margaux, Chateau Haut-Brion, etc. About some home good, if you like to cook, certainly you will know Le Creuset for pan, for pots, etc. And very recently, several days ago, because I don't know very well all these French brands, but my wife bought candle Diptyque. I just happen to know that Diptyque is a very famous French brand for candle, house perfume, and so on. If you have a very prestigious kitchen, then of course you must have La Ganche, Fourneau de France, means stove. Very beautiful stove made in France. About beauty and perfume, L'Oréal, Lancôme, Sephora, and L'Occitane. Godali, this is a typical French brand who claim that all the ingredients that they put in their cosmetics have something to do with the grape, which is a very important agricultural production of France. About fashion and style, of course, there are so-called haute couture that we are going to see later on. But for much younger generation, maybe you know better Saint James, ABC, or Cézanne. All these brands are popular for a younger generation. And if you are 40, 50, 60 years old, then you are certainly, you are looking into your closet, you must have something come from Yves Saint Laurent, Dior, or Chanel. For shoes and accessory, every young lady or elder lady must have a bag from Hermès or Longchamp or Louis Vuitton. Repetto, it is also a very famous brand. And if you are office lady, of course, you must have a high heel of the very, very red, extravagant red high heel of Christian Louboutin. When you get married or when you want to please your boyfriend especially your girlfriend, you must buy jewelry from Cartier or Chaumet. So we have seen some very famous, popular brand made in France. Here comes to the end point of this session. Personally, I think that we are moving gradually from an old school cliche about the French style of life to a modern, fine dream of younger generation. When we talk about French people, in the past, our cliche about French people, they wear this kind of black beret. They have a baguette, the French bread, under their arms. They wear striped t-shirt. They all the time, oh la la, oh la la, oh la la. And then not only their body stink, but they also eat stinky cheese, and they eat strange, horrible food like frog leg and escargot. But this is the old school cliche about the French style of life. But I think that for the younger generation, what you perceive as the French style of life will be like this young girl who has a personal style of dressing. Not necessarily luxurious, but something on her body which can represent her personality or her characteristic. And sitting on the balcony, having petit déjeuner à la française, and eating croissant. So I think that this could be the perception of younger generation toward a fine, personal, but more pleasant, more happy, more casual style of life. So that is all for today. And as usual, these are the references that I pick up from internet for this session. And until next session, please stay tuned and hope to see you again. Au revoir, à la prochaine. Oh là là.